What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. Like you know, I am your host, AC the Engineer, and we are at episode 83. Yep, episode 83. It's been a crazy ride. It's been a crazy ride. Every single day we talk about something crazy, or at least Monday through Friday, every day of the work week, we talk about something crazy. Because there's always crazy things going on. There's always times that we need to review this stuff together. Hopefully everybody had a beautiful Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. It's getting closer and closer to the end of the year. Hopefully, we can always expect there's going to be some crazy stuff that we're going to go over on this show. But today is like no other. We're going to go over, like always, four different topics. We got the Kentucky State University shooting we know we have to go over. More people making ICE threats. Shoot on sight. We got some twins arrested. A crazy story of a mother and her two 6-year-old twins being found murdered in the home. It's a crazy world. And then last but not least, we got wildfire survivors whose I'm assuming homes were gone, still being expected to pay the mortgage. Yeah, crazy things. It's always some crazy things. It's always stuff we got to review together. If you ever disagree with anything I say, please leave a comment. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion on it. Because we can't live in an echo chamber. We got to hear other people's perspectives. Even if you can't find an agreement, we still want to at least hear each other out. Doesn't mean we have to change our opinions. No, we got to be able to talk about these things. We have to be able to talk about these things. If you ever got any videos that you want me to review, please send them over to my email. It's acreviewstheworld@gmail.com. A dot after the A and a dot after the C. But you already know how I like to do it. Let's jump right into it. I don't know why I did all that, but let's jump into it, y'all. The first thing we're going to cover today, the very first thing, we got to go over to Kentucky State University. It's always something. It's always a lot of school shootings. People getting into fights, start shooting. But let's go and see what this is about. Maybe it's something different. Highly doubt it is, but let's go get over into it and see what we can find out from what's happening in this situation. Let's jump into it, y'all.
Tonight, chaos on campus following a deadly shooting at Kentucky State University in Frankfort.
They got an active shooter at the Young building. I think they've got him detained.
Frankfort police confirming one student died and another was transported to the hospital in stable but critical condition after shots rang out at a dorm, officials say, in the heart of the 1,000-plus acre campus with 2,200 students. It happened just after 3 in the afternoon.
I heard they had 2 victims. They were attempting to evacuate from the transport.
Anthony Jones heard the gunfire.
I just heard 2 shots and seen out the window up there. I just seen everybody running down. About over there, I ran down, seen what was happening.
With the help of campus police and the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, authorities secured the campus and have a suspect in custody.
One individual who is not a Kentucky State University student is in custody. Frankfort police believe this to be an isolated incident, and there are no active safety concerns on campus at this time. The other 2 individuals involved were current Kentucky State University students. Both suffered gunshot wounds.
Students in the middle of final exams this week shocked by the semester's tragic end.
Regular college students just chilling, kicking it, studying. Where we got finals this week, and then boom, it just happened. It's crazy.
It's never a good time when you're at the school trying to prepare for finals, and then something like this happens. People be scared, worried. They're also worried about trying to pass their classes. I wonder what caused the shooting.
Just can't believe it happened on college campus.
Emily Ikeda, NBC News.
Now let's pivot over into the next video and let's gain some more information. We actually get to see what he looks like.
I do want to start with a story that we have been tracking over the last 12 hours or so as we follow the latest on a shooting at Kentucky State University in the Commonwealth's capital of Frankfort. The suspect, who Frankfort police identify as Jacob Lee Bard, which we now have his booking photo. Do want to pop that up for you on your screen there. Now, from the Franklin County Detention Center here, online records there show that he's charged with murder and first-degree assault. Frankfort police say one student was killed, another critically wounded when the gunshots were fired at a residence hall on campus. It happened over at Whitney M. Young Jr. Hall. While the victims are students, police say Bard, the suspect, is not, and the shooting happened around 3 p.m. local time Tuesday, with the assistant chief of police calling it an isolated incident. Investigators explain that Bard is actually from Evansville, Indiana, which is about 150 miles west of Frankfort. Again, we know one student was killed, another critically wounded, but their names have not been released.
So was he just visiting? What was he doing 150 miles away on a campus, maybe visiting someone? Let's keep going.
Police speaking very briefly last night about all of this, and I do want to pop up the audio and listen in to that.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Tracy, Assistant Chief of Police at the Frankfort Police Department. I'm going to make a brief statement and then hand it over to Dr. Acapo for a statement from the university. This afternoon at approximately 3:10 p.m., our Frankfort dispatch received a call reporting a shooting on the campus of Kentucky State University. Within minutes, by 3:14 p.m., Frankfort police officers arrived on scene. By that time, Kentucky State University campus police had already taken swift action, bringing a suspect into custody. 3 individuals were involved in the incident. One individual, who is not a Kentucky State University student, is in custody. Frankfort police believe this to be an isolated incident, and there are no active safety concerns on campus at this time. The other 2 individuals involved were current Kentucky State University students. Both suffered gunshot wounds. They were quickly transported to a local hospital for treatment by Frankfort Fire and EMS. Tragically, one has passed away from injuries. The other remains in critical condition. Our thoughts are with them, their families, and the entire Kentucky State University community, as well as the Frankfort community, as they navigate this difficult moment. I want to express my deepest appreciation for the quick, coordinated response between our officers and the Kentucky State University campus police. The department was also assisted by local, state, and federal agencies: Franklin County Sheriff's Office, the Kentucky State Police, Frankfort and Franklin County Emergency Management, Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, the ATF, Frankfort Fire and EMS. Their rapid actions ensured that the situation was contained almost immediately, preventing further harm. We understand how unsettling incidents like this can be for students, parents, and our community. But please know that the safety of our residents and our campus partners remains our top priority. And we will continue to work closely with Kentucky State University as this investigation moves forward.
Let's get over into the next video. We got a gist of all that, but let's get over into some more.
This afternoon at approximately 3:10 p.m., our Frankfort dispatch received a call reporting a shooting on the campus of Kentucky State University. Within minutes, by 3:14 p.m., Frankfort police officers arrived on scene. By that time, Kentucky State University campus police had already taken swift action, bringing a suspect into custody. 3 individuals were involved in the incident. One individual, who is not a Kentucky State University student, is in custody. Frankfort police believe this to be an isolated incident, and there are no active safety concerns on campus at this time. The other 2 individuals involved were current Kentucky State University students. Both suffered gunshot wounds. They were quickly transported to a local hospital for treatment by Frankfort Fire and EMS. Tragically, one has passed away from injuries. The other remains in critical condition.
Okay, that seems like the gist of it. But one is dead, one is critically injured. But let's get over into. So I seen something on Twitter that we need to get over to. It looks like someone captured video of how the fight started. So let's get over into that and see what we can. Well, X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm so used to calling it Twitter, it's hard to get away from it. Let's get over into it.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Let's back that up a tad bit.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! What the fuck? What the fuck?
Y'all heard those shots? So, back it up a tad bit.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Let's get over into. So this is Jacob Lee Barb. If I'm saying that name wrong, forgive me, but don't really matter. He's a criminal. Age 48, male, black. Birthday, they don't give that. Let's see. In custody, Franklin County Regional Jail. Booked December 9th, 2025 at 8:12 p.m. Jacob Lee Barb. That is who is the killer. 48-year-old man accused of shooting and killing a student after an altercation.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
It's just a tragic situation. And we all know it's all because people either can't handle. Why are people so quick to. Yes, fighting is a horrible thing. You should never go over to violence. But if fighting does happen, which is always possible, which shouldn't, well, is always going to be possible with some people who can't control their emotions. But if we can just leave it at just fighting with your hands, what is with picking up a weapon? What is with out here pulling out a gun? You see that one dude had a baseball bat. He came running with a baseball bat. Got someone else running in, coming with a gun. Seems like the gun and the baseball bat dudes were together. It's a crazy situation, absolutely crazy situation. But too many unstable people have guns. Too many unstable people have guns. Too many people don't know how to control their emotions. Too many people are quick to go to violence or going to the worst place. It's a tragic situation all about. But he threw his life away. 48 years old. I guess he lived a good life for 50 years. Now he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. Yeah, if you're one to do something like this, I mean, I guess you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. It's a crazy situation, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world, but we got to review it together. We got to review it together. But let's pivot. Let's pivot over into the next topic. Shoot ICE on site. Yes, that's what these twin brothers were arrested for making threats. It's always people who love to make threats on the internet, especially about ICE, but then they lose their job and get arrested because they actually do something, try to plan something crazy. But we got a few videos to look at to get over into this. Let's see what all this is about. What kind of threats? What all were they? Threats? Were they just threats? Were they plans? Let's see what all happened. But let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this situation, or if we can learn anything at all. Let's get over into it. Get over into it.
Developing tonight in South Jersey, a pair of twins are behind bars after they allegedly made threats on social media against a Department of Homeland Security official and ICE agents. Our Jennifer Lee is in Absecon tonight, and she spoke with neighbors who say they're stunned by the claims against the men they described as friendly and respectful.
I am totally shocked.
You know, you never know people. Things happen, but it's just a shock to us that it would come from them.
This Absecon neighborhood in disbelief after twin brothers Emilio Roman Flores and Ricardo Antonio Roman Flores were arrested. The large law enforcement response captured on cell phone video. The twins face federal charges for threats they allegedly made on social media.
5 o'clock in the morning, I had a SWAT truck in my driveway.
You think you're invincible. You go to make these threats online thinking, oh, well, I'm just making it online. Nothing's going to come about it. They track you down and find you. And then you're out of your home and you're treated like a criminal because you are. Now you are a criminal. Let's keep going.
Dozens of people with assault rifles coming around the corner was a caravan of cars.
The Department of Homeland Security executed a search and arrest warrant after the brothers allegedly threatened to hang Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin and called to shoot ICE officers, quote, on sight. Neighbors say the twins are in their mid-20s and have always been friendly. Over the 15 to 20 years they've known them.
I've known them, the boys, since they were 5 years old. They're mannerly, respectful, educated, happy, well-adjusted.
That don't sound very educated to me, making threats online, especially against federal agents who if you've seen the news anywhere, they are going after anyone who makes threats. So they're obviously not. Well, they might be educated, but they're not smart. You can be educated and stupid. It's just like what they are. Let's keep going.
Whole family are beautiful people.
They would come over here and shovel my walk with the snow because I can't. I put a new fence out. They would come out and help me put the fence in. And the father has been a great neighbor. Mother as well. They're always friendly, say hi.
Homeland Security says the twins are U.S. citizens. Ricardo faces one charge of conspiracy terroristic threats. His twin Emilio also faces that same charge and several more, including unlawful possession of an assault weapon pictured here from DHS. Neighbors say they're thinking of the twins and their hardworking family.
I mean, they know they have good kids, so maybe it's just something stupid they did and it'll work out. I don't think they're going to kill anybody, that's for sure.
The Department of Homeland Security says ICE law enforcement officers are facing an 8,000% increase in death threats due to extreme rhetoric. The acting ICE director saying in response to the threats, if you threaten our law enforcement or DHS officials, we will hunt you down and you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
They're a beautiful...
And they're stupid. This is stupid people behavior. We got to admit it. This is stupid people behavior. But let's keep going.
family. It's a crime what was done to them.
We talked to a family.
Hold on, back that up. What'd she say?
And you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
They're a beautiful family. It's a crime what was done to them.
We talked to a family member of the brothers over the phone who tells us they are working with a lawyer and have no comment at this time.
Absolutely crazy. Let's go over into the next video and see if we can learn any more details.
Police working with federal agents have arrested New Jersey twin brothers. They are accused of making terror threats, one specifically against the Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. And they also allegedly threatened to shoot Immigration and Custom Enforcement officers, or ICE. They threatened to shoot them on sight. In a gruesome post, the suspects wrote they wanted to hang and kill Tricia McLaughlin. And the arrests come as ICE officers are facing an increase of 8,000% in death threats. Constitutional attorney Jonathan Turley.
There's a lot of hateful expression that goes on the internet. You know that as well as I do. But what the federal government's trying to do here is to stem this incredible increase in threats against ICE officers and other officials. And that's being fueled by a lot of the rhetoric coming from the left.
Nate Foy has more. Nate.
Hey, Harris. So the New Jersey twins are locked up today and facing federal charges for threatening to hang and kill DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. They're also accused, as you mentioned, of posting on social media to, quote, shoot ICE agents on sight. Emilio Roman Flores and Ricardo Antonio Roman Flores are both charged with conspiracy terroristic threats. Emilio is also charged with unlawful possession of an assault weapon, criminal coercion, and cyber harassment. DHS and a local SWAT team arrested the twins while executing a search warrant in Absecon, New Jersey. This is just outside of Atlantic City. They seized guns from the home. Take a look at this next picture. Again, these guns unlawfully owned, according to DHS. Assistant Secretary McLaughlin commented on the threats against her life, telling Fox News, quote, cowards like these guys won't stop us or slow us down. Now, according to Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, ICE officers are facing an 8,000% increase in death threats. Just last month in Chicago, ICE agents faced several attacks, including 4 vehicle ramming attacks in one single day. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has compared ICE to Nazis, while Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett called them the slave patrol. And DHS blames rhetoric like that for the rise in attacks, and border czar Tom Homan agrees.
Now let me say something, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's just free speech, freedom of speech." But the First Amendment. So this is. Let me read this out so y'all understand. The First Amendment protects most speech, but it does not protect true threats of violence. The difference between protected expression and unprotected threat lies in the speaker's intent to communicate a serious intention to commit an act of unlawful violence. Yeah, because some people are saying, oh, well, it's just freedom of speech. We should be able to say whatever we want to say. You can't use that argument. You can't. Yes, we live in a country where freedom of speech, freedom of religion, all that good stuff. But if you make true death threats and you have the means to do it, you got weapons and arms, you're going to be held accountable for it. You're going to be held accountable for it. But let's keep going.
They're being doxxed on social media. They're getting death threats every day. They're under attack, and we're at a place in this country where all of a sudden the ones who enforce law, the bad guys.
The New Jersey twins are both American citizens. Right now, they're in custody in Atlantic County, New Jersey, awaiting their next court appearance. Harris.
Nate, thank you very much.
You got it.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
Now let's pivot over into this. One more video just to see if they give us any more details about it.
The boys that were arrested were always friendly and, polite, courteous.
Neighbors remain stunned after federal authorities and a police SWAT team swarmed their street in Absecon early Monday morning and arrested twin brothers Emilio and Ricardo Roman Flores.
All because of Instagram posts.
The 26-year-olds are charged in connection with threats of violence towards ICE agents and a top official with the Department of Homeland Security.
It's kind of shocking, actually. At 5:30 or so, whatever it was in the morning.
Emilio Roman Flores is accused of encouraging others in a social media post to shoot ICE agents on site and calling for the hanging of DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. According to court records, at least 16 threats were made from the same account against law enforcement, federal officials, and Jewish people. A neighbor who did not want her face shown on...
back. They said Jewish people as well? At least 16 threats made against law enforcement, federal officers, and Jewish people. They might be educated, but they stupid. Stupid people.
Federal officials and Jewish people. A neighbor who did not want her face shown on camera defended the brothers and their family.
The whole thing is exaggerated. These boys are not criminals, and their lives are being ruined right now. The whole thing.
And that's the same old lady who said that what they're doing is wrong to them. So, yeah.
family.
The twins, both U.S. citizens, are jailed on state charges. According to court documents, authorities seized an assault rifle and 3 high-capacity magazines from the brothers' house. Court records also say Emilio told investigators he created the unattributable account so no one could figure out it was him, and that Ricardo provided his email address to do so. Court documents say Ricardo was aware of the threats and that Emilio said he made them to push back and intimidate those whose beliefs he disagreed with. People at the twins' house told me they still needed to talk with their lawyer before saying anything about the allegations.
I don't believe one word of it. They might have taken a phrase or a sentence and went off to the races with it.
The twins are scheduled to have a detention hearing Friday morning. That's to determine if they will remain in jail pending trial. In Absecon, I'm Ted Greenberg, NBC.
Now, it's a totally crazy situation. Totally crazy situation. But let me check real quickly. Oh, I was about to say, can we see if I can find the actual post somewhere? Nope. But let's get over into... Oh, nope, not this, not this. This. So speaking of death threats, it looks like we got a student at Minnesota making more threats.
I actually heard you guys pull up to Otana, the big O, and you pulled up when I was not there? Yo, so puss ass shit, boy. You gonna get popped next time I see your ass. Bring the whole cavalry.
Hassan Mohammed, Minnesota State University, vowed violence against ICE officers, drawing criticism and serious concern for the public. Yeah, FBI should visit him. This is what we're worried about. What did it say? Mohammed has since deleted the clip, but not before it spread widely across social media. It's hard. You can't get stuff off the internet. Pressuring Mohammed to post a follow-up apology video claiming his rant was meant as a joke, calling his remark a lapse in judgment.
I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment. I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm just here to apologize.
The incident amplified existing tensions in Minnesota, where ICE operations have recently increased. He made that apology because, one, he was probably going to get, he knew as soon as he did it, as soon as it started blowing up, he said, oh yeah, I'm probably going to get expelled. I'm going to get expelled, or even worse, might go to jail.
Targeting Somali people means that due process will be violated. Mistakes will be made. And let's be clear, it means that American citizens will be detained for no other reason than the fact that they look like they are Somali. That is not now and will never be a legitimate reason. For decades, the Somali community has added greatly to our city. The economic fabric, their hard work, their leadership, it has made Minneapolis a better place.
As President Donald Trump said in a social media post Thanksgiving night that he was terminating temporary protected status for them. That it's a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. The feds have continued to zero in on Minnesota in recent weeks after officials said that up to half of Somalian immigrants have fraudulent immigration paperwork. Absolutely crazy situation, y'all. But it all goes back to threats on ICE. In this time, you got to be smart. I would never advocate making any kind of threats. I would never advocate making any kind of for violence anyway. But you can't be a smart person if you're going to make a threat against someone and then you're surprised when, oh, it's just an Instagram post. Like, come on now. You did a stupid thing. Now you got to face the consequences for it. Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world, y'all. Y'all be smart. At the end of the day, just be smart. Absolutely crazy. We're going to pivot over into the next topic. We're going to go into, it looks like a mother and her 2 6-year-old twins were found murdered, shot in their house during a welfare check. So let's get over into that. We got 2 videos to look at. It's a crazy situation, but let's get over into it and see what we can learn from it.
Story tonight, the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office is investigating the shooting deaths of a 40-year-old woman and her 2 twin children. Investigators found their bodies inside a home just south of Fort Smith in Bonanza in the 1100 block of First Avenue there in Bonanza. Deputies are not saying much, but did confirm 40-year-old Charity Powell and 2 children found dead and had been shot. 5 News reporter Bo Russell has been in Sebastian County all day, talked to some family.
The investigation into the 3 deaths started on the morning of December 3rd. At about 9:30 Tuesday morning, the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office was called to a home on First Avenue in Bonanza for a welfare check. It's still unclear who made that call. Inside the home, law enforcement found Charity Powell and 2 children dead. Deputies say all 3 had been shot, and Powell's family said the children were her 6-year-old twins.
2 of them 6 years old that never done anything to anybody. Perfect. Beautiful children.
You gotta be one sick, cold SOB to kill 2 6-year-old children. Shoot them. You gotta be one cold demon
that will never take another breath.
Powell's father says his grandchildren had been baptized just a day before they were shot and killed, and now all he has are memories and photos.
I have lots more pictures of them that are very valuable to me.
She just got baptized.
A lot more than there was yesterday before they died.
Yeah. She was just baptized.
John Powell, Charity's son, says they haven't heard from law enforcement yet, but that they want answers.
She had me when she was 16. And I've got good memories of her, you know. Even them babies, I held them the first day they was born. And would watch them and take care of them, and it's just rough to hear what happened to them.
The Sebastian County Sheriff's Office declined an on-camera interview, but says detectives,
I'm assuming that's her son,
are still working to piece together what led up to the shooting. Now, Sebastian County sheriffs say they do not believe there is any ongoing threat to the public. Investigators have not yet released any information regarding a possible suspect or possible motive. We'll continue.
Now let's get over into this next video.
Take a look at this photo, these beautiful twins and their mom, Charity, gone, dead, shot and killed in their own home. And I'm going to give you some of the details surrounding this and what was going on in her life and what everyone is thinking about tonight. We begin with this from the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office in Arkansas. December 3rd, 9:30 a.m., receive a call about a welfare check, so they go to the house. Law enforcement could not get any response from the residents and continued to investigate. They entered the home. Upon entering, they found 3 deceased individuals, a mother and 2 deceased children. It was apparent that the 3 had gunshot wounds. The woman was identified as Charity Bialas, age 40. All 3 sent to the crime lab for autopsy to determine exact cause of death. Then an update on the 9th. Search warrants, 12 search warrants in progress. 6 search warrants have been served. More warrants could be pending. Interviews, numerous interviews have taken place with more pending upon information obtained through tips. Voluminous number of tips have been received. Each lead is being actively pursued. A large amount of evidence has been collected, either processed or being processed. and autopsy results are still pending. However, Charity's father and surviving son from another relationship, he's an adult, spoke to KNWA about who they believe is responsible for this triple homicide.
Randall Bialis, he's a powerful and evil man. All he cares about is money and himself.
There was nobody else in the world that had any reason to harm her or those babies but him, and that was only for financial gain and for the hatred that he had.
They're pointing the finger at Randall Bialis. Now, the New York Post has some more information about this. I want to give it to you. Prominent Arkansas doctor, that's Randall, that denies that he had anything to do with the deaths of his estranged wife and 2 young children, and is heartbroken after their bodies were found at his home in the middle of a bitter divorce battle, his lawyers said. Dr. Randall Bialis previously pleaded guilty to domestic violence after choking his wife Charity at their $760,000 home in Bonanza back in March. He has not been arrested or charged in relation to the murders.
So, oh my God. Angry ex-husband who has previous incidents of domestic violence. He was probably going to lose a lot of money in the divorce. Oh my God. So he might have taken their lives or murdered them to stop that and to probably get some kind of money from it. Oh God. But that's just my guessing. That's just my speculations. We don't know anything for facts yet, but let's keep going.
Mr. Bialis was not responsible for the death of Mrs. Bialis nor his children's death, the attorney told the Post. Mr. Bialis has been cooperative with law enforcement and fully supports the sheriff's investigation. We hope the sheriff finds out the truth about what happened to Mrs. Charity Bialis and their children. He added that his client had given a voluntary interview and allowed access to anything requested by the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office in their investigation. Let's bring back in our think tank, Bob Bianchi, Ali Benevento, Dr. Sue Kornbluth. It's like a day after this bitter hearing, Ali, when she gets shot and killed and her children shot and killed. What are your thoughts tonight?
Rough facts, rough timeline. Everybody knows that husbands and boyfriends are typically popular suspects. And then, of course, the timing couldn't be worse for all things pointing towards this doctor. I'll be very curious to hear some of the details that come forward. It sounds like the police are working hard, interviewing a lot of people. It kind of makes you wonder what's going on here. I have a feeling that police probably know more than they're letting out publicly. They may be watching the doctor, the husband, to kind of see what his reactions are to some of the news, some of the information being released. But that's a tough one. You're the husband, you have 2 dead children, dead wife, and it was a day after your divorce hearing. Doesn't look good.
Dr. Sue.
Yeah, so I agree with Allie here. It does not look good for him. You know, Vinny, I work in this field every single day with divorced couples, and you see a lot of domestic violence go on in these relationships. Does it always mean that the domestic violence leads to death? No, but a lot of times it is a precursor for that. So I think, what troubles me the most in a lot of these cases is that these women are reporting domestic violence, and they're being told in different states that if he doesn't threaten to kill you, then there's nothing that we really can do about it. But at the end of the day,
that's gotta be a lie. There's gotta be a lie. There's no way I would want to hear it from a police officer that, I'm coming to you telling you that he put his hands on me. Oh, well, we can't really do anything unless he threatens to kill you. So as long as he can beat my butt, as long as he don't threaten to kill me, we good. What do you mean?
If he is guilty, no restraining order or PFA or anything is ever going to stop a man from doing something like this. My heart breaks for this family, these beautiful children, and this beautiful woman.
Bob, we have about 20 seconds to wrap this up.
Today's domestic violence is tomorrow's murder case, but I will tell you, there have been 2 cases exactly like this that I've handled in my career. Prosecutors jumped to conclusions. They got a dot I's, cross T, eliminate other suspects, because in those 2 cases, they pointed to the husband in the middle of an acrimonious divorce, and they were wrong. And it's somebody other than the husband serving life sentences. So be careful, prosecutors. Don't jump to conclusions.
Okay, yep. He is absolutely correct. He is absolutely correct. We can't just jump to conclusions. We got to wait for the facts to come out. We got to wait for evidence to come out, because it could be a horrible coincidence. It could be a horrible coincidence. I wonder if the cases he worked also had husbands who were had previous domestic violence incidents. Man, I wonder if that is what I'm wondering. But yeah, we can't jump to conclusions yet until more evidence comes out, but it definitely does not look good. Domestic violence, messy divorce. You know you're going to have to pay a lot of money. And then the grandfather said this was the day after they got baptized. We know whoever killed them, you know where you're going. Don't know if it was the ex-husband, don't know if it was somebody, a random person, but you know where you're going. I ain't got to say it, you know where you're going, but absolutely crazy situation, absolutely crazy situation. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Do you think the husband did it? Or is it just too early to tell? Is it just too early to tell? It is a crazy situation. Why ain't you sitting right? Sit you right. Put you right there. It's a crazy situation. But let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It's a crazy world, y'all. It's a crazy world, but we got to keep reviewing it. But we're going to pivot over into the very last thing we're going to talk about today. The very last thing. We got wildfire survivors. So I'm assuming out in California. I haven't, I don't really watch the videos until we review them together. So wildfire survivors, it's basically saying something about the mortgage company still wanting them to be paid after the house burns down. Show me a house and I'll show you some money. Show me where the house at and then I'll show you some money. But let's get over into it and see what all this is about. I might be missing I might be missing it, but that is basically what it said. But let's get over into it and see what we can find out from this situation. It's a crazy one. It is a crazy one, but let's get into it.
Deadline is approaching for those who lost their homes in January's catastrophic Palisades fire. Program that allowed affected homeowners to suspend mortgage payments is ending. They may have to now pay tens of thousands of dollars in back payments all at once. KTLA's Eric Spillman live in Pacific Palisades with more on that. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Frank. This is a terrible burden for people who've already been through a whole lot. We're in the Alphabet Streets section of Pacific Palisades. This is Jules Fawn, and behind her is a vacant lot, which is where her home once stood. It was here a year ago. It is not here now. You're in the process of rebuilding, and now we come to find out that the program that allowed you to pause your mortgage payments essentially is ending as soon as next month.
It is. It's really scary. The fact that I'm going to have to start paying my rent for the home I'm living in and for a dirt lot I don't know how it's going to happen. And I don't know how all these people are going to be able to afford it. It's irrational and really scary.
Let's show some pictures of your house as it existed a year ago. Beautiful house. You've been living there. You built it in 2012. And the way that this mortgage forbearance program worked is there was a state law. It said you could sort of not pay your mortgage or pause it for 12 months. Another factor about this program ending is that you owe a balloon payment in January which is all the deferred monthly mortgage payments that you didn't pay over the last year. And that's a lot of money.
So our bank, City National Bank, did not do a balloon payment. They tacked it onto the end of the mortgage. But a lot of my friends, they're going to have to pay a giant sum along with our current rent. So they're going to have to take the money that they're supposed to be building their house with to pay all of this. I just don't know how it's going to happen. And these banks really need to think about, as fire victims, we didn't want to rebuild our homes. I was happy. I don't want to have to build another house. I was happy with my community, and now it's gone. And they should really think about us and give us a break.
I want to show you some pictures of what the Palisades looks like today. You have some homes being built, some construction taking place. It's kind of a patchwork. I would say most of the lots are still empty, maybe 80, 90%. They haven't started rebuilding. So this is really an important thing because it doesn't take a year to rebuild a home. It takes much longer than that, doesn't it?
It takes a long time. I mean, some people can't even afford to come back. They've got insurance issues. They've got money issues. There are going to be so many people rebuilding at the same time. So
think about that, y'all. Think about that. You build a home, a beautiful home. It burns down, and then your insurance isn't coming through because you're supposed to have when you buy a home, you got homeowners insurance, and that usually covers certain things. Now it won't cover everything, but it covers certain things. And if it falls with outside that homeowner's insurance, you got to cover it yourself. So if the house burns down and the insurance isn't paying for it, the only other option, because the debt is still on your name for however much that home cost. The debt is still on there. So you only got one option. You got one option, sell it. But what are you selling? At the end of the day, you're no longer selling a beautiful home that probably had a lot of mortgage payment on it or had a high home value. You're selling an empty lot, which you're not going to get enough to pay all that mortgage loan back. Wow. Yeah, you got to make sure you got good insurance. You got to. That's the only option. Make sure you got good insurance. Make sure your insurance covers it, because that'll be a nightmare. I can't imagine. Let's keep going.
So their materials are going to be hiked up. The expenses are crazy. And
you're wrestling with your insurance company.
It's so overwhelming and just really scary time for all of us.
All right. I want to tell you about a campaign that's underway by some other Palisades residents to get the federal law changed to require banks to extend mortgage forbearance for not only fire victims, and we're not just talking about the Palisades fire, but also the Eaton fire as well. This is a web address. We want to put it up on the screen for you so you can get some more information. It's called disastermortgagerelief.com. This is the campaign that's underway to extend mortgage forbearance for up to 2 to 3 years, which is basically how long it might take to rebuild a home here in the Palisades. And Jules, I know as you were driving in here this morning, it's tough to come back here and see it.
It is. It's a giant sucker punch. You know, you drive in and it's flat. There's nothing here. My town, my community, and my home is gone. It's devastating.
They've started the grading here, and pretty soon I guess they'll start the framing.
They will. Thankfully, the permit process took a really long time. The mayor said they were going to fast track it, which it was not fast tracked. That was a whole process, but I can now breathe. I got my permit, and I'm in the next stage of rebuilding the next chapter of my life.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Really appreciate it. Hope you get back into your house relatively soon. It's probably going to.
Now, should they increase the forbearance period? I think it would be reasonable. I think it's reasonable because make the forbearance period as long as they're on point, and however long it takes for the house to be rebuilt. You don't have to you can still tack it on to the end the payments that they missed, because technically they still own the lot, loan the land and all that good stuff. So yes, but make the forbearance periods as long as it takes to rebuild the home. But would the federal government pass that? I don't know. I have no idea. That is, or is it? It might be state or most likely federal. But that it makes sense to me to have a forbearance period as long as it takes to rebuild the home. Because then you're just putting more due stress on the people. If you make it like a year, the home's not built, so now you got to pay rent and you got to pay mortgage, and then you're. But would the mortgage company even care? They're just going to get the lot back and sell it to somebody else. That's a crazy situation, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let's see what else they're going to say.
Be another year, right?
At least.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for talking to us. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Eric, quick question for her. If most insurance companies provide for rental payments, is that only for a year, or does that at least help on the rent side while she's waiting for her home?
In her case, listen to this. She had State Farm up until October, 2 months before the fire. State Farm canceled her policy right before the fire, so she had to go on the California Fair Plan, which is kind of a bare bones insurance. So did they pay for your rent?
So I got a lump sum of $150,000 for rent, period. No matter if it takes me 2-3 years to rebuild, which that will run out.
Okay, let's do some quick math. So she got $150,000 lump sum. $150,000 lump sum. So this is what it is. California. This is Palisades. This is Palisades. Let's see. Palisades. Fire. Let's see, average rent. Cool. So let's see, Palisades, California, average rent is between $3,000. So it varies by property type. So $3,167 to $8,975. So let's take the average of that. That says $3,200. Say $3,200 plus 8,900. Plus we're gonna do simple numbers here. 9,000 with an average. So average of $6,000 a month. So at the 150,000 divided by, let's say 6,000. Let's see how many months that gets her. 25 months. So 25 months or the average of $6,000 a month gets you 25 months. And we already know, so that's 2 years. So it gives her 2 years of rent payments at the average price of $6,000. I wonder if I wouldn't think she has to pay tax on that, but still, is that enough time to rent until your house is rebuilt? That's the question. But it's a crazy situation no matter what. Let's see, I think we got to the gist.
Really fast, but that's all I got. And for personal property, I got $150,000 for the entire inside of my house, which my kitchen costs more than that. So what are you going to do?
So you see the challenges that people who are rebuilding face. It's not easy.
Oh, so that's all the money she got. So to rebuild her home, that's all they're paying her?
Right, and it sounds like a lot of money, $150,000, but if you have a household and have gone out there to see how much it costs to rent a house, especially on the west side, you understand that's not going to go very far. Certainly not going to cover the period of rebuilding.
More than 3 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. How do you feel about it? How do you feel? Yeah, I understand mortgage companies, yes, I understand them still wanting to get their money. I understand how they still have to charge you something, or they're good about that, put it onto the back rent or back mortgage. Okay, I can understand that. But the forbearance period to where you have to pay it, that is the question. Should the forbearance period be as long as it takes to rebuild the house? But I guess it has to have some kind of set timeline. So maybe they have to rebuild the house between a certain time. Yeah, there should definitely be, yes, I understand with that. There should definitely be programs to help these people, yes. But, and the question is, does the mortgage company really care about it? It's a crazy thought, y'all, crazy thought. But let me know your thoughts on that whole situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Absolutely wild, y'all, absolutely wild. But that is it for the show today. Go back and watch. Thank you for watching now. Thank you for watching later. Remember, y'all, this is AC Reviews the World, and I am your host, AC the Engineer. Like always, if you disagree with anything I said, please leave me a note. Let's talk about it. Have a comment. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. Let's see what he's at. Blame. Let's see. Our government spends so much money on stupid stuff. People should get some kind of assistance. Yeah, it's understandable. We do spend a lot of things on stupid things. We do spend a lot of money on stupid things. It's the world we live in, though. It's the world we live in, and we just gotta push it forward to the next day, and we gotta vote for people we want to put in power to hopefully make a difference. Absolutely crazy, y'all. But that is the end of the show. Thank you for watching, man. Thank you for tuning in now. Thank you for tuning in later. We will be back tomorrow. It's going to be between 6 and 7, just depending on what time I'm thinking. But you already know, you will know a few hours before. And we'll go over another 4 topics. 4 topics that we need to review together. You already know these videos will be broken down so you can see the exact one you want to. But that is it for the show today, y'all. You already know I got to play that outro. Peace.